Every time you turn on the news, you're watching the exact same movie, aren't you? Sirens in the Middle East, missiles launching into the night sky, endless chaos. And the experts on TV will sit there in their suits and tell you that this is a 1,000-year-old religious war, an ancient blood feud that can never be solved. Let me tell you a secret. They are lying to you. The bloody theater you are watching right now has almost nothing to do with religion. This is a story about absolute power, money, oil, and the greatest heist in human history. The tension between Israel and Iran today, the tension that constantly feels like it's going to trigger World War III, wasn't born in the desert sand. It was engineered in air-conditioned offices in Washington and London. Today we're going to talk about how the American empire stole the Middle East. If you're ready to look past the mainstream media illusion and see how the world is actually run, let's rewind the tape. The Original Sin and the Stolen Oil, 1953. To actually understand the missiles flying today, we have to ignore the present for a minute and go back to the year 1953. Back then, Iran was led by a democratically elected prime minister named Mohammad Mossadegh. Mossadegh was loved by his people, but he committed one unforgivable crime in the eyes of the West. He stood up and said, "Iran's oil belongs to the Iranian people." Up until that exact moment, the British were essentially siphoning Iran's wealth through the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, which you know today as BP. When Mossadegh nationalized the oil, billions of Western dollars were suddenly at risk. Absolute panic set in. Britain immediately called the United States, and the infamous Operation Ajax was greenlit. The CIA orchestrated its very first successful coup d'etat right there in the streets of Tehran. They overthrew a chosen leader and installed the Shah, a brutal dictator who would take orders, suppress his people, and most importantly, keep the cheap oil flowing to the West. Think about it this way. Imagine someone kicks down the door to your house, changes the locks, and then starts selling you the fruit from your own backyard. That deep, generational hatred the Iranian people have toward the West? The seed was planted on that exact day. It was never about radicalism. It was about the brutal theft of their own resources and their future. The Unsinkable Aircraft Carrier, Israel. So, how is the United States supposed to protect this massive Middle Eastern oil vault? You are sitting an ocean away, and during the Cold War, there was a constant terrifying fear that the Soviet Union would sweep in, make a deal with the Arabs, and shut off the global oil valves. America needed a loyal, heavily armed watchdog that never slept. This is where the story of Israel takes on a massive, undeniable strategic dimension. The billions of dollars in military aid the U.S. sends to Israel every single year, the cutting-edge fighter jets, the intelligence sharing. It's not just about friendship or shared democratic values. It is one of the most ruthless, calculated investment strategies in geopolitical history. In the words of American military strategists, Israel is the United States' unsinkable aircraft carrier in the Middle East. Through that aircraft carrier, America secures the oil routes, monitors the vital Suez Canal traffic, and keeps its grip firmly on the jugular vein of the global economy. For Washington, Israel isn't just an ally. It is the ultimate insurance policy for their global empire. The year the board flipped, 1979. But history is a monster that doesn't care about your perfect plans. And if you watched my last video about the 1979 global oil crisis and Paul Volcker, you know exactly what year we are talking about. The spark that ignited that massive economic inflation crisis also blew up the geopolitical chessboard forever. In 1979, the Iranian Revolution happened. The US-backed Shah fled the country in disgrace. In a matter of days, the United States lost its biggest, most profitable puppet in the region. Iran transformed overnight from a compliant Western gas station into the ultimate sworn enemy of both the US and Israel. All the chips were violently swept off the table. America thought it had the Middle East completely figured out, but it was swallowed whole by a monster of its own making. And since that day in 1979, the war between Iran, Israel, and the US never actually stopped. It didn't end. It just mutated into something much darker. The modern shadow war and the AI battlefield, present day, fast forward to today. The rocket barrages, the tragedies in Gaza, Hezbollah, the Houthis. These are all just the latest visible moves in that same chess game that started back in 1953. But here is the terrifying reality of the modern era that the news won't tell you. The real war isn't just being fought in the skies or in the trenches anymore. Missiles are just for the cameras. The actual devastating war is happening in the shadows. We are looking at a deadly digital chessboard. Forget traditional soldiers. Today, the front lines are manned by autonomous algorithms and deep state hackers. Remember the famous Stuxnet virus? The malicious computer worm that infiltrated and crippled Iran's nuclear centrifuges without firing a single bullet? That was just the beta test. Today, we have entered an era where artificial intelligence doesn't just assist in cyber warfare, it executes it. We are talking about AI systems launching thousands of micro-attacks per second to find a single vulnerability in a nation's power grid, while opposing AI security protocols try to patch those vulnerabilities in real time. Code itself is becoming weaponized. Securing AI and building impenetrable cyber defenses is now far more valuable than traditional military tactics. Israel and the US are using immense technological power, while Iran deploys a sophisticated network of cyber warfare and regional proxies. Neither side wants a full-scale, boots-on-the-ground war because they know the math. A direct conflict would instantly crash the global economy and send oil prices to a level we've never seen. So instead they bleed each other out from the shadows. They hack financial ledgers, sabotage infrastructure, and let algorithms fight their battles. The call to action. The Middle East wasn't always a cursed, bleeding land. It is a place that was intentionally turned into a battlefield by those who wanted to control the wealth of the world. The bill for that broken lock in 1953 is still being paid today with the lives of innocent people, and now with the silent wars fought on our servers. If you are tired of the shallow mainstream media narratives and want to understand how the world is truly run behind closed doors, you are in the right place. Do you think this AI-driven shadow war will eventually glitch and escalate into a global physical conflict? Let's debate it in the comments below. I read every single one. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.